this is Miss Diggins. I am a Latin teacher at MNBA, and I'm glad you're interested in studying Latin. What I'm going to be doing is just going through a few reasons why you should study Latin, give you some careers that you might be interested in if you study Latin and classical languages, and then show you some famous people who've also studied Latin. So starting here, carpe diem is a Latin phrase. I'm sure most of you have heard it, and it means seize the day. It means take each day as it comes and do the best with what you have. So, reasons to study Latin. The first one is over 50% of English vocabulary comes from Latin roots. You will improve your vocabulary and improve your standardized test scores as you study Latin. Did you know the word exit? If you see the word exit over a door, it's actually a Latin word, and it means he, she, or it goes out. And there are many Latin words around us, and you don't even know it. Look at a dollar bill or a coin the next time you have one in your hand and see if you find any Latin words. Scientific terms come from Latin roots. If you're considering a career in science, Latin is something that you should study. And did you know that for 2,000 years, until the 17th century, all scientific books were written in Latin and in ancient Greek? And that's why still today, so many scientific terms come from Latin. Latin will help you understand languages better. It teaches you a system of languages that will help you understand all other systems, including English, better. So you get to relearn what a pronoun is, what adjectives do. And it's in a language that you don't have to actually speak because it's not a live language. They call it a dead language, but it became French, Spanish, Romanian, Italian, and Portuguese. Those are the languages that Romance languages are called, and they come from the language that was spoken in ancient Rome, which was Latin. So it helps you understand all languages. If you want to be someone who knows many languages, if you study Latin, it will make that easier for you. When you study Latin, you'll learn about Roman culture, including mythology, Roman art, architecture, history, and culture. And there are many, many things that are so interesting about this. One thing, did you know ancient Roman women actually dyed their hair like women do today? Think of how long ago that was, and they were dyeing their hair. And they also had indoor plumbing, which is amazing to think. Lots of little facts like that you'll learn, and you'll also learn mythology if you're at all interested in Greek and Roman mythology, the gods and the goddesses. Many interesting stories from there. Now on to careers for people who've studied Latin. If you study Latin in college, you're called a classicist. A classics language study involves ancient Latin and ancient Greek. So if you study Latin or Greek in college, what are some things that you can do with the degree? Some people say it's a dead language, why would you study that? Here's one, computer science jobs. Jobs that require programming knowledge are excellent for those who study Latin. Why? Because Latin gives you a great understanding of any language, and a computer programming uses its own set of languages. And they're even, it's hard to understand sometimes the computer language, but once you've studied Latin and understand a system of language, it's easier. Medicine, just like I talked about earlier. A background in Latin makes a lot of medical terminology a lot easier, and it tells medical schools that you are serious about academics and not afraid of memorization, because in Latin you do have to memorize a lot of vocabulary and endings, but once you get used to doing that, you use it in all other aspects of your life. Law schools love to get applications from classicists, people who study Latin. A success in study of Latin proves that you have a mind capable of learning and using the kind of detail required that you need to deal with as a lawyer. It doesn't hurt that you already know all those Latin terms either. Law has many, many Latin terms. Education. The classical education helps you prepare for English, history, studies, geography, and is a great basis for starting other languages. So you could teach any of these subjects if you study Latin. Also, anything. With a challenging subject like Latin in your educational background, you can really do anything you want to. Next, I have a list of all kinds of famous classicists, people who studied ancient Latin. So take a look at it and see if you know anyone. It's a great list from modern times, Chris Martin and Dido, to Thomas Jefferson, and J.K. Rowling, J.R. Tolkien, great writers. So there's all kinds of reasons why you should study Latin, and it is fun. It's a language that is fun to learn. The program is great. The Middlebury program is great. I'm here to help at any time that you need it, and I love holding live sessions for people who need help on grammar and come into my office hours. So if you have any other questions, look for me, Miss Diggins, and I'm happy to answer them. Thanks so much for watching this, and have a wonderful day.